The Los Alamitos Racecourse Halloween Carnival returns with more fun than ever before. It's a fun night for the entire family on Saturday, October 19th. We'll have games for kids of all ages, pony rides, and of course, the main event of the night, the popular costume contest for cash prizes. What a fun night it'll be! Plus, live horse racing. Admission is only $3 for adults and free for children 17 and under. It'll be a howling good time. For more, 714-820-2800 or visit losalamitos.com. $1 million will be on the line for a field of top juveniles at Los Alamitos. It's the running of the Golden State Million Futurity on Sunday, October 27th. They'll be dreaming of riches, led by fastest qualifier, American Dreaming. This filly was simply sensational in the Golden State Million Trials. Plus, Lethal Cowboy 123 and Big Bang Rocket will be looking to repeat their big trial wins. And can Ultimate Battle win a Futurity after 2 runner-up finishes? The Golden State Million Futurity, Sunday, October 27th.
And welcome everyone to the Los Alamitos preview show. It is Super Derby weekend here at Los Alamitos, as well as the Azure Three Stakes on Saturday. So plenty of stakes action to talk about. But first, I have to welcome our panel here. Let's start with George Duarte, the chart caller at Los Al, getting ready to chart some more trials here at Los Al this Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on this weekend. We got the carnival. We have a really good betting card, I think, on Saturday, a real competitive one, and it capped off with that Azure Three Stakes. That's the new wrinkles at 220 yards, so that's interesting race. And then you got the Super Derby trials full of stars and up and coming stars. So it's a real good, fun weekend coming up.
And Michael, how are you doing today? I see that Jack-o'-lantern right behind you, getting ready for the Halloween Carnival as well. And of course, you had Jericho on top on the Robert Boniface Los Alamitos Invitational, and he got it done in a big way, Michael.
Yes, he certainly did. A bigger way than I ever could have anticipated. I thought he deserved to be the favorite. I thought Impressum was a false favorite, but I never, ever could have imagined him blowing away that field like he did in the final 220 yards. And as I hinted on the show last week, Orlando, he might well start favorite in the Champion of Champions after that effort.
Yeah, I agree with you. After seeing the way he ran at 440 yards, definitely the best performance that we've seen at 400 yards or higher here at Los Al this season. Chris, your thoughts on that tremendous effort by Jericho?
Well, it was scary good. I mean, the horse exploded late, wasn't ever off the run. I talked to some people afterwards, and I agree with that comment by Michael. Off that effort, how could he not be the favorite or one of the favorites in the champion? That was so very impressive. I talked to Heath before the races that day, and Preston worked a 12-3 turn of work. Jericho worked a 12-7 turn of work the same day. But he told the exercise rider on Jericho, don't push him, don't ask him to run, because once you give him his head, he just goes all out. He could 11 flat in a 220 turn of work. I mean, he's just so talented. And when he broke and big run midway, very, very scary impressive. That impressed him. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tremendous champion of champions. That is, as it always is now with Jericho. Impressive now having revenge in his mind. London Toby, he rested this time around, so we'll see him in the Z. Wayne Griffin trials as he gets ready for the big one, the Champion of Champions. And of course, we'll have some horses coming in from various places out of town. Patty Stain back in the Champion of Champions. So once again, it's going to be a good one. Well, let's talk about good ones, and we certainly have one in the Azure 3 handicap here at Los Al with some really nice runners. You Can Run, the Grade 1 winner, and he's been doing some really good things throughout this meet. Won the Cahuilla Bar, required first. Tremendous performances all throughout his career. Second in the SoCal Derby, second in the Town Policy. Believe it was also second in the Governor's Cup Futurity. Up for everything. He's Chickless. We know about He's Chickless, last year's Muniz Award winner. Jessica Cruz just keeps running second to that tremendous Patty Stain. Did run third in the Millie Vessels last out. MFS Cheerio, a nice runner here with a really good record throughout, has made over 150 48,000, Always a Chance, and Nomad 2. George, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on this race, the Azure 3 on Saturday night.
What made it interesting was the post draw. I think the two fastest horses by far are right next to each other. So, that's going to be interesting. MFS Cheerio is entered in on Sunday, so he's probably not going to run in this race. Always a Chance switches Barnes, which is interesting. Worked good. They removed the blinkers and worked pretty good, I thought, on September 7th. So he's another one that could win there. Also, I thought Up for Everything has been getting out of the gate really well as of late, and that's another one that could. So it's a real contentious race. There's no way I'm singling in this race. Required First is also fast along he has a 2-post. That's another one that has caught flyers before in the past. So this is a race that it's gonna be a race I'm gonna spread and hope. That's basically how I'm gonna look at it. If I had to go with the top pick, I have to go with Heath Chickless just because he's so consistent out of the gate. He always gets out, and usually his problem has been that they catch him going 400, they catch him going 350. Well, at 220, he's always in the lead, and that's the distance of this race.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. He can be so fast out of the gate. Chris, your thoughts in this 220-yard race?
Well, on my comparative speed charts, it's a closely matched affair, but Heath Chickless is an absolute bullet away from the barrier. 4-year-old colt won his race last time against a good group of horses going up 350 yards, but 220 yards. He's 1 for 1 at the distance, and he's a bullet. Everything goes through him. But of course, Jessica Cruz also very, very quick. A 4-year-old filly drawn up against him. He's got a big look at the outcome as well. But with everything factored in, 220 yards, anything could happen. Like I said, my comparative speed charts, it's a closely matched affair. But just on speed, quickness, consistency away from the gate, I got to give a slightest of edges to Heath Chickless. But there's no way you can single him because on the numbers, it's a closely matched affair.
Yeah, the fact that it's a 220-yard race, that kind of throws a lot of things out the window and really kind of raises up Jessica Cruz's chances to win this race. Michael, your thoughts on the Azure 3?
Pretty much echoing what's already been said. Because Jessica Cruz is slightly better odds, I'll go with her because she is consistently fast out of the gate as well as Heath Chickless, and she's right outside of him. She's an absolute bullet in the first half of her races, and she's so consistent leaving that she might be really tough to beat. With full respect to Heath Chickless, it's just that she's drawn outside of him at one point longer on the morning line. So I'll give a slight edge to Jessica Cruz in a really exciting race. That trainer change for Always a Chance took me by surprise and had me scrambling to look for Ready For It, who's in a Super Derby trial on Sunday night, but Ready For It under the same ownership, Junior's quarter horses, is still with Monte Rosa. I don't know what would be behind the switch for Always a Chance to Jose Flores. Very interesting development. And he, of course, has a great amount of ability as well. But I'll go for the 4-year-old mare, Jessica Cruz, to win the feature on Saturday night.
Yeah, if my memory serves me right, I believe that Jose Flores has trained for Junior's quarter horses in the past and some of the good runners that they've had in the past. Jessica Cruz, first time that she's faced males this year, and she's been facing all the top females in all the top stakes races here. So we'll see what she does here going against the boys this time around. And of course, we also have a big Sunday night of races here at Los Al with the trials of the Los Alamitos Super Derby. We have 33 sophomores going in the Super Derby, races 6, 7, 8, and 9. And they'll be fighting for one of the top 10 spots in the Super Derby final. The prize pool, the purse for the Super Derby, almost $800,000. And we'll take a quick look at the field. Please interrupt me if you see a horse that just stands out on the page for you in each of these trials. We'll go ahead and take a look at race number 6. Try Harder on the rail off of a second place nose finish against Hot Prodigy. Now, here's one of the big names of the night, Dark Enemy. Dark Enemy, the champion filly last year, began her career with just victory after victory after victory, won the Rainbow Futurity, ran third in the All-American Futurity, went back and won the Texas Classic Futurity. Just a super filly, Dark Enemy, over $1,600,000 in earnings. Speaking famous, we've seen him in big races. No Cantel, Separate Heart. Sonny Corona ran in the All-American Derby. I believe the only horse in these trials that has run in the All-American Derby. AB6 Corazones. We've seen him do some nice things as well here at Los Al. And BP Cartel Policy. What a duel between BP Cartel Policy and Dark Enemy. Michael, you see these two big names. The top 3-year-old on the ground so far, BP Cartel Policy, and a newcomer in Dark Enemy. What are your thoughts on both of these tremendous runners?
Well, it's exciting to have Dark Enemy visit us at Los Alamitos, but she's got gate 2 without a local work, and despite all of her wonderful credentials, that has to be a negative when you've got BP Cartel Policy sitting pretty out there in post position number 8. So if she can win this trial, I don't know how they're going to beat her in the final. I think I probably have to lean towards the Arosa Bill Price horse on the outside because he's got the local record on the board and the favourable post position draw. But a really exciting clash between the two.
Chris, can Dark Enemy win this race?
The talent is there. It's like as noted by Michael, no workout over the track, first time over the oval. And BP Cartel Policy was just so very impressive. Wasn't asked her own, broke on the lead and extended, drawn to the outside. The ability is there, but like as noted by Michael, slight edge to BP Cartel Policy, a local runner who was just so tremendous. But of course, 12 lifetime starts, nine victories, 1 second, 2 third place finishes, and against a top-notch competition, $1.6 million already banked. You got to get a horse a big look, but with the races over the oval and the outside post, you got to give the slightest advantage to BP Cartel Policy.
George, the fact that Dark Enemy ran at Lone Star Park last year under the lights, so this will not be the first time that she's run under the lights here when she goes on Sunday night. Is that how much of a plus is that for Dark Enemy?
For me, it's a big plus, especially, I mean, she did it both times from the rail under the lights. It's good because usually a lot of times when they run for some of the lights, they might be, looking around or not used to running that late in the hour. They're normally creatures of habit. They're used to running during the day and only during the day. And all of a sudden it's, they're ready. They're thinking about going to sleep and they're going to actually have to race. So she has that experience. I mean, she's showed up in every race that she's ran in. So I'm not worried about her showing up. It's just that she's facing, a really good horse in BP Cartel Policy, who's, at the top of his game. And I'm not sure she's at the top of her game.
Yeah, she ran third in the Rainbow Derby at Albuquerque and faced Dashing Tress, who went on to win the All-American Derby. And then in her All-American Derby trial, faced Cuz Lightyear, who's a really nice sophomore there at Albuquerque as well. Let's take a look at race number 7, the second division of the Los Alamitos Super Derby. To me, the most wide open race here because a very evenly matched group. There's no superstar standout as far as from the Grade 1 division. Ready for it. Did run second in the Los Alamitos Winter Derby. Is a stakes winner here at Los Al. As a matter of fact, twice a stakes winner, twice over, a political walk. Also, in this field, market analyst ran a nice victory in the trials to the Governor's Cup Derby. We didn't see her come back in the Derby after a little bit of time off, is back in this one. Famous Cartel Jesse, how much did that first out gonna help her? Because she did have a really troubled outing, but we knew that she was getting ready for these big races. Southern Divine ran second to that outstanding filly named Azure in the Los Alamitos Oaks. Chicken Cartel of a 12.3 workout on October the 1st. Comes back, round second in the Governor's Cup Derby, and he's a good reason to complete this field. Chris, you get the first bite at this apple. What are your thoughts on this trial?
This is like a well-matched cast. I'm going to give the slightest of edges to Southern Divine, the 6 horse. This horse came back to work very, very nicely, and has some very consistent numbers on my charts. So with that workout and quality figures on my numbers, I'm going to give the slightest look to Southern Divine, and of course, ready for it to be my second look there in that seventh event, the second of the 4 trials.
Michael, do you agree with Chris? Is Southern Divine the one to beat?
Yes, I do agree with Chris. Apart from her second to Asher in the Los Alamitos Oaks, she did qualify to both the Los Al 2 Million and the PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity around about this time last year. Very high quality performer, and that bullet gate work is jumping off the page at me on September 28. I'm with Dun Ranch and Monte Rosa and Southern Divine.
Are you zagging in this race, George, or are you staying with Southern Divine?
I prefer Ready for It. He's the morning line favorite. I just think he is more suited at this distance than she is. I know she qualified for the 2 million and she ran really well in the Los Al Oaks, but I think her better distances, if she would say what's her number one distance, I would say it's probably 350 yards. So that's the one hesitation I have with her, and she's gonna be a low price. So for me, I prefer Ready for It. I think he's the one that gave BP Cartel Policy a run for his money so far this year. He's still up and coming. He went to New Mexico, faced against some tough rivals, going longer. Now comes back, worked well on September 28th, and gets Jose Nicasio. I think he draws well. I think he draws into between 2 slower breakers. So I think he's gonna get the clean trip, and I think he's gonna win. And the horse I would use underneath, I know it's not the longest price, is Chicken Cartel. She likes the 400-yard distance. She's 3 for 3 in qualifying in races that were 400-yard trials. She qualified for the Oaks, the 2 million, and the Governor's Cup Derby. So she really likes this distance, and that's one I would try to beat Southern Divine with.
Let's go ahead and take a look at race number 8. And in this one, Hook and I, Change Happens. Change Happens did post a gate work on September 28th. AB, wow, what a performance back on September 8th, winning an allowance race. Of course, that one prepping him for this trial race. And he's done well in Grade 1 races here at Los Al, ran third in the Golden State Million Futurity, and then qualified to the Los Al 2 Million Futurity. And you can say that he had an excuse in that race. Remember John, the Artillero, Roar Like a Lion, and Think Again Kevin's going to be number 7 here for Keith Nelson. Another horse that has qualified to some Grade 1 Futurities here at Los Alamitos. Tres Luna ran a good second to Kiss My Wine, and then there he is. Stanley Cartel, undefeated in his career, perfect 2-for-2 this year, a stakes winner of the Sgt. Pepper feature. George, you get the first word here in this trial. Stanley Cartel or someone else?
I have to go with Stanley Cartel. Honestly, the only thing that I can see possibly beating him is the post. He's never been this far out, and I'm always leery the first time they draw the 9 or the 10 post. I know he won on debut from the 6 post, but that's totally different than the 9. The 6 post is like directly in the middle of the track versus 9 post is you're farther out. And I've seen it countless times where the horses will break out 4 or 5 paths and go way out and lose ground. So that's the only thing I think that could beat him. But if he has no issues with that outside post, I can't see anybody in this field beating him. The only one I would like underneath is AB Wow. That horse is the opposite of a lot of these other horses where he loves the nighttime. All his best races have been over this track. and he draws perfectly in between two horses that are slower breakers, and I think that's a slam dunk exacta.
Michael, your thoughts in this race? You've called every one of Stanley Cartel's big wins here at Los Alamitos.
He's a real excitement machine. But let me throw out my value horse for the exotics across these Super Derby trials. He's 15-1. Number 4, Remember John. He won a trial at 16-1 to the 2 million in November last year. And overall, he just hasn't quite produced the goods. He's only won 2 of 15. But some of his gallop outs have been really impressive to me, including 2 starts back in a Derby trial when he had no luck from the inside. He was in trouble early, and I loved his gallop out on that occasion. He's just caught my eye enough times to think that he still might have a chance to make an impact. I'm not suggesting he's got the same level of ability or brilliance as Stanley Cartel, but outside of the favourite in this trial, there might be room for a long shot or two to get into the exotics. And number 4, Remember John, at big odds, is a horse I think might be able to fit that bill on this occasion.
Chris, in this trial, Remember John or Stanley Cartel, what are your thoughts in this overall field?
Stanley Cartel, unbeaten and so very impressive in every start. Never really been asked to run. He's got a ton of talent. And like I said, if he just breaks and run a straight course from that outside post, as done by George, sometimes they ski out there away from the gate when they're drawn on the outside post. But straight up ability, definitely the one to beat as my top choice. AB, wow, loves it here at Los Alamitos and was very impressive in that last affair. Has a look at the outcome as my second choice. And a little miniature price look will be Tres Lunas in this event. So I'm going to give the slightest of edge to Stanley Cartel. And, of course, AB Wells going to look to grab a slice, a nice size pie. And, of course, Tres Luna to be in the exotics there as well. But Remember John gallops off very, very well, but is a trouble-prone runner deluxe, as I like to say. He always finds a way to impede himself away from the gate, but he always finishes very, very. One of these nights, he's going to break, and he's going to blow up a toe board, which he's done before in trials prior.
I do have a workout to show. I like to show Stanley Cartel's gate work since he's done everything right here at Los Alamitos. I mean, the closest race he's had was his maiden win when he won by a half a length over Hot Prodigy, who went on to qualify to the Edinburgh Million Futurity. So let's take a look here at this gate work from the tremendous runner, Stanley Cartel. Okay, here we go with Stanley Cartel in this gate work. September 28th, we had a lot of runners that worked on September 28th, and just about all the gate works that we'll be showing on Sunday night of horses that are in the Derby trials. They pretty much all of them worked on September 28th. Here he is, Stanley Cartel. And this was the 4th fastest of 16 works, and you can see what a perfect statue he was, waiting for the gate to open, came away nicely, just shifted in a little bit, but then the rider grabbed a hold of him, tapped him right-handed, and he went a few steps to the inside, leveled out, and then went really, really good from there. You can see this nice gallop out here from Stanley Cartel here in this September 28 work. So we'll just take one more look at Stanley Cartel and this gate work here. And George, what are your thoughts on this gate work?
It's really choppy for me. I can't even see the work. My phone is acting up, so I wouldn't ask me for any video things about right now.
Chris, what are your thoughts on this gate work?
Well, so very, very impressive. I'm gonna say what my one of my friends up at Hastings Park says when he says hi to me. He says, "Hey, that was an A workout. That was A++. Very impressive. Broke good, skied a little bit, kind of head high. never really asked to run too much, and it was just so very, very impressive. And this horse is just it's got so much talent. It's scary. It's just very, very impressive workout. Tons and tons of talent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what Stanley Cartel does against these top sophomores here, having a chance to see him face the best of the best in these trials. Let's go ahead and move to the final trial, race number 9, and we have another the Grade 1 winning newcomer. That's Let's Leave, favorite Cartel out of Time to Leave. He was purchased here at the Los Alamitos Equine Sale for $122,000. R.S. Shere Khan won his maiden race by 3/4 lengths last out. Now is facing top Grade 1 Derby runners. Beduino's favorite, E.G. High Desert Farms, and trainer Jesus Nunez. This horse has had some nice performances here. Boardwalk has qualified to 3 derbies this year. Not too many horses can say that. There's Boardwalk, Masked Mandate, winner of the Governor's Cup Derby, and a really good second in the Golden State Derby. One of the big stars here, number 6, SC Time to Run, winner of the El Primero, and then went to Remington Park and won his the Heritage Place Derby over there after running third in his trial. Silverback has surprised a few times here, qualified to the Los Alamitos Oaks. Really nice filly. And Cowgirl Up, third in the Golden State Derby. Michael, what are your thoughts in this trial?
I think it's about Monte Rosso with SC Time to Run, number 6. Has to be the on-top selection for me. Again, getting back to the fact that the horse has local experience, even though he hasn't run here for some time. But a lot of talent and will love the distance. But the rail runner is so intriguing. Let's Leave. That juvenile form is something else. How the heck does any horse win by 5.5 lengths in a trial to $1 million futurity, as Let's Leave did in the middle of last year at Ruidoso? Just the one win from 2 starts as a 3-year-old, but turns up now for Monte Rosso. And by the way, that 5.5 length win last year was from the rail, and the horse has gate 1 here. Obviously, a lot can change between the summer of 2023 and where we are right now, but it's a very, very interesting horse to lay eyes on. And I'm keen to see what Let's Leave can produce, but my top pick would have to be SC Time to Run.
Chris, any thoughts on this trial? Any thoughts on Let's Leave? SC Time to Run? Tell me about this race.
Yeah, well, like I said, I see Timer's got a big look at the outcome also. Let's Leave, very, very interesting. Done very well from the inside post. I'm just going to give a slight look to Masked Mandate. This is a horse that actually a couple races back at Fractures broke the gate and still won. It doesn't happen very often. Was a very good second to the aforementioned earlier runner, our top choice earlier on there, BP Cartel Policy. Has got a ton of talent, always very consistent. I'm going to give that one the slightest of edges at a little bit of a price. Of course, second number would be ST Time to Run. And then, of course, Let's Leave on the inside, also a horse who very, very interesting. You don't see horses win like that in quality races by over 5 lengths. That's just unheard of. So a ton of talent in that 4th and final trial for the Los Alamitos Super Derby.
Yeah, can't wait. This is one of the better trials of the night with SC Time to Run, Let's Leave, and of course, Masked Mandate. Well, that's a good look at Sunday's trials. We're going to take a short break and then come back and talk about your picks of the weekend here at Los Alamitos.
$1 million will be on the line for a field of top juveniles at Los Alamitos. It's the running of the Golden State Million Futurity on Sunday, October 27th. They'll be dreaming of riches, led by fastest qualifier, American Dreaming. This filly was simply sensational in the Golden State Million trials. Plus, Lethal Cowboy 123 and Big Bang Rocket will be looking to repeat their big trial wins. And can Ultimate Battle win a Futurity after 2 runner-up finishes? The Golden State Million Futurity, Sunday, October 27.
And we're back here. Let's talk to Michael Wrona with his selection of the weekend. Michael, what race are you going to?
Looking at Saturday night's 5th race, Orlando, which is an allowance for 2-year-old fillies at 300 yards. I'm attracted by the 10-1 on the morning line for number 3, Amir Dash. It just seems like perhaps a bit of an overlay, and I think that she's a value play that maybe we can get something out of this Saturday night. Most of her form has been in futurity trials. She hasn't had many opportunities just in allowance races, and when she did 2 starts back, it all went quite wrong, as we'll take a look at the replay. And with better luck at the odds, maybe she's worth a try.
All right, well, you mentioned a replay. I do have a nice race here for Amir Dash, and let's take a look at, how about that July 27th race, Michael?
Yeah, which was an allowance at this distance, non-winners of 2. So basically an identical race to what she's in on Saturday night. And she had gate number 3 and was in trouble. She rubbed the side of the gate. Her hind quarters were bumped and she got squeezed early.
Okay, let me go ahead and call it up. All right. Hey, Michael, here's the drone shot of Amir Dash's race back on July 27th. He's going to be breaking from post number 3. Let's take a good look here at Amir Dash, and then you can go through with some more of your thoughts on this race.
Yeah, the horse is in trouble at the start in the green silks, gets the hind quarters bumped and gets tightened and squeezed, and then loses the path. A horse shifts across in front of Amir Dash, who ends up finishing only 5th along the inside, but was starting to gallop out really well into the turn, was making up ground rapidly at this point, and around the bend in the gallop out was right up there with the winner of the race. So I feel like she could have finished and should have finished a lot closer. She's by the same sire, Amir Felix, as favourite Jess Hawk, that sire that's making a bit of an impact for E.G. High Desert Farms this season, a new sire on the scene. And you can see there, from that angle of the drone replay, that she's coming right through along the inside around the turn and actually galloped out in front. So with a better getaway, I just think she's worth playing at 10-1. I know that there are some horses here that look legitimately good chances, but I think there's value to be had with number 3 in race 5.
Yeah, Chris Wade is actually going to go head-to-head with you in on Saturday night. His top pick will also come from race number 5.
I didn't even realize that. Well, that's a little bonus, isn't it, for everybody?
It sure is. It sure is. Michael, thank you so much. It's going to be a fun weekend, the Halloween Carnival here on Saturday. And, of course, what a great night of trials here, the Los Alamitos Super Derby trials here on Saturday night. Oh, we got you back here, Michael. Thank you so much for joining us, and looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Certainly, and it would be remiss of me to not give a closing credit to my stage manager, Kathleen Wrona, for the little thing that you see sitting behind me on the top of the couch. That was her handiwork.
Perfect. Yeah. Happy Halloween coming up. Happy Halloween Carnival here for all of us. Thank you, Michael.
Hooroo.
$1 million will be on the line for a field of top juveniles at Los Alamitos. It's the running of the Golden State Million Futurity on Sunday, October 27th. They'll be dreaming of riches, led by fastest qualifier, American Dreamin'. This filly was simply sensational in the Golden State Million trials. Plus, Lethal Cowboy 123 and Big Bang Rocket will be looking to repeat their big trial wins. And can Ultimate Battle win a Futurity after 2 runner-up finishes? The Golden State Million Futurity, Sunday, October 27th.
And here we're back with Christopher Wade. Chris, we just heard Michael Wrona. He is going with a mere dash in race number 5. I teased it before the break that you're going to be going head-to-head with Michael Wrona here in race number 5. Who's your selection?
Well, I'm going to give a look to the 2-horse Set to Go. This horse did break the maiden in a Governor's Cup Futurity trial. Then last time didn't get away very, very well. Broke slow, was leaned back at the start, was crossed, angled in for a clear path, and finished well. It's a nice sized individual horse with a good amount of talent, and has a big look at the outcome at a decent price with everything factored in. So I'm going to give him a look to hopefully get away a little bit better here tonight. His 2 best races have been bookenders. One well, nice effort from the rail, broke the maiden from the outside post. But this horse has a good amount of talent and just needs a clean getaway to be a big factor here. And did have some trouble in that last trial.
Well, here's that last trial that you mentioned is race number 5 on August 25th. Set to Go is going to be breaking from post number 2. There's the yellow blinkers. Dr. Ed Allred's Rolling A Ranch. Scott Willoughby, the trainer here for Set to Go. I'll go ahead and hit play, and you walk us through this race.
This is a horse has talent. Had some problems away from the gate. Broke slow. Kind of angled in, was crossed by a quick arrival to the inside. Angled in for a clear path, and was just under a hand shove throughout. But it's a nice sized individual. He's starting out pretty well. The final half of the affair, the winner was long gone on at the front end, but this horse galloped out very, very well. And in a trial, I looked at the gallop out was nice into and through that turn. And the horse has a good amount of talent, but his own worst enemy was just some slow starts. If this horse could just break in decent fashion, could post a minor upset there in that allowance event there in race number 5, kicking off the pick 6.
Yeah, and this trial was really productive. Midnight Mood went on to qualify out of this trial, and also Snowbound. Snowbound was part of this field. Both of these went on to qualify to the PCQ HRA Breeders' Futurity. So best of luck there with Set to Go here in race number 5. It should be a very interesting race. You're going head-to-head with Michael Wrona here in this race. Well, Chris, thank you so much for all the hard work that you put in, for this show especially, and looking forward to seeing you. We'll be sharing the Winner's Circle area there on Saturday night because of the Halloween Carnival and the costume contest. Always a fun night here at Los Alamitos.
It's a great night. The place to be packed, and lots of kids, lots of people having a great time. One of the best nights of racing, along with the Wiener Dogs. Of course, you can't throw out the Wiener Dogs. We'll get big crowds for the Wiener Dogs, but Halloween costume night is a great night, and we got a great, nice-sized fields and some price looks there on Saturday night of racing.
Thanks so much, Chris. See you on Saturday.
See you, boss.
The Los Alamitos Racecourse Halloween Carnival returns with more fun than ever before. It's a fun night for the entire family on Saturday, October 19th. We'll have games for kids of all ages, pony rides, and of course, the main event of the night, the popular costume contest for cash prizes. What a fun night it'll be! Plus, live horse racing. Admission is only $3 for adults and free for children 17 and under. It'll be a howling good time. For more, 714-820-2800 or visit losalamitos.com.
And welcome everyone to the Los Alamitos preview show. George Duarte had some technical difficulties, so he was not able to join us for the second half of the show. But in his place, I'd like to bring up just this article that just recently came out on the Los Angeles Daily News. It is about a great friend of Los Alamitos and a good friend to the show here, Curtis Treese. He is the chart caller at Santa Anita, tremendous chart caller there at Santa Anita. But also he began his career as a chart caller at Los Alamitos Racecourse, called many races here from the press box, and just does a sensational job. So if you have an opportunity, Google Curtis Treese and the Los Angeles Daily News, and you'll read a tremendous feature on everything that it takes to be a chart caller here, and the fine job that he does. And I gotta show you, because I am the proud owner of a very special autograph sheet of all the comments that Curtis Treese writes for a race. Here's just one particular race, and Look at this writing here. What a tremendous job that he does. Very hard to read, but he knows every single mark that he put on this piece of paper. This is from a race that he charted here at Los Alamitos during the September meet. He calls it a fine work of art. I call it abstract art because it is a little bit difficult to read, but I know that he's painting a picture for sure that will go on the Equibase footnotes. And of course, he is a tremendous bowler as well, just like George Duarte is. So I just wanted to share that because he's he does a fine job doing all the charting of races in Southern California. He is here for the Thoroughbred meets here as well. Thank you so much for everyone that joined the show. It's going to be a great weekend of racing here at Los Al, the Halloween Carnival, part of the festivities on Saturday, and the trials to the Los Alamitos Super Derby. Hope you join us from wherever you are, whether it's watching on FanDuel TV, watching our live stream on losalamitos.com, or of course, being here on track, enjoying all the live action. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend wherever you are. Thank you.
$1 million will be on the line for a field of top juveniles at Los Alamitos. It's the running of the Golden State Million Futurity on Sunday, October 27th. They'll be dreaming of riches, led by fastest qualifier, American Dreamin'. This filly was simply sensational in the Golden State Million trials. Plus, Lethal Cowboy 123 and Big Bang Rocket will be looking to repeat their big trial wins. And can Ultimate Battle win a Futurity after 2 runner-up finishes? The Golden State Million Futurity, Sunday, October 27th.